Hey guys, J77 here. Doing another news update here. There's an interesting thought that I wanted to share with you as well. So, if you're going to make a comment, please give me your actual opinion, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it. I like to hear what you have to say. Let's first start off with the reports. If you guys who live in New York or don't know what's going on in New York, the MTA had banned political ads completely from their place of business, basically subway stations, anywhere that the MTA owns property on. The reason why this has happened is because of an ad that pretty much targeted certain individuals, particularly Muslims. Now, this is no secret. I forgot the lady's name. I do also have a few other reports relating to the situation because it is a sensitive topic, whether you agree with it or not. Many people say it is trampling over freedom of speech. I'm not too sure if that's the case though, because you gotta understand one thing. When it comes to political stuff, it has an agenda. It's doing something, whether negative or just basically trying to influence. And the NTA for a long time before this whole thing happened have always made the business not to get involved of political ads because they don't want to take sides or anything or make it seem like they're all for one group and only one group. They're not the only one who does this. Certain networks try to stay away from that, depending on the network, because you do have some networks that are TV networks and radio networks who pretty much, if you look at their shows and look at their news, it's very obvious who they're going for. But in this case, the MTV have always been the one that stays neutral. Now, an incident that's happened where it was very clear that they were targeting certain individuals. They said that these are the words that came from these individuals, and they had plastered it on the MTA. And the MTA came on a lot of pressure for a few months, and they finally not only took it down, but actually reinforced that no political ads of any kind be put on the subway stations, period. And this led to the people who were responsible for the ad threatening to sue the MTA. Now, I don't think they have much of a leg to stand on because whether you agree or disagree, it is private property, and the MTA can either accept the ads, which they do most of the time, and they reject the ads, which they do most of the time. They even come pressure over some ads that's deemed inappropriate because of what what the images are showing. They also got a lot of heat for that. But in this case, it does raise the question. Is this really trampling over freedom of speech? Is it really something that the MTA shouldn't do and let it run? I'm mixed on this because, first of all, I do not want to go. I get very upset when somebody's trying to preach fire and brimstone when I'm trying to head home from a long day's work. The last thing I want to see is something that is considered hateful plastered over the billboards. Keep in mind, on the one hand, it's not me who's spending the money to put them on there. When you put these ads on their walls, it costs a lot of money. But at the same time, you gotta wonder how far is it too far. Now keep in mind the lady who is very big on this does have a track record, and it's not good. She says a lot of hateful, mean stuff. Most of it is not true. Most of it is propaganda BS. And if you read some of the stuff she have even said, even the newspapers, both conservative and liberals, have really attacked this woman very hard because of her narrow-minded ways. However, does she have a right to be that way? Does she have a right to express that way? And is the MTA really is stepping on her freedom? Now, with that being said, do other people of other religion or ethnic background have the same right to say something about their beliefs, their contributions? You see how this is where the tricky slope, because we always think about one particular group. We don't think about how the rights about other ones and how much they should do the same thing. There's always a one-sided thing. So this is something that I'm very interested in seeing how it plays out. And it's most importantly, I'm very interested in seeing what you guys have to say about this, because it is a big issue. So I'm leaving it out there for you guys. Give me your comments. Tell me what you think. And as always, your opinion means a lot. So I'll leave it at that. Again, this is J77. I will leave a link to some of the stories below. You guys can comment on it. But until then, J77 saying take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.